Maisha ya familia yetu. Kipindi hiki kinaletwa kwako na Holy Cross Family Ministries Kenya. Familia inayosali pamoja huishi pamoja.
Kwa kweli kabisa, familia inayosali pamoja huishi pamoja, na ulimwengu katika sala ni ulimwengu katika amani. Hujambo ndugu msikilizaji, na tumsifu Yesu Kristo ambaye anatutazama na pia anatusikiliza. Karibu kwenye kipindi chetu cha maisha ya familia yetu, usiku wa leo ikiwa ni tarehe 19 mwezi wa Novemba mwaka wa 2023. Kwa kweli kabisa tunazidi kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa mambo ambayo anazidi kututendea, tukiangalia hata ingawa maisha imekuwa ni ngumu, lakini bado tuko na matumaini, kwa maana imani yetu tunaiweka kwenye ambaye hatambui ambacho kinatendeka. Anatambua, lakini bado katika maisha yetu tunaweza kuvumilia tukiwa naye. Hii ikiwa ni Radio Waumini 88.3. Jina langu ni Samuel Washira, na tutakuwa nawe usiku wa leo tukiwa tunazungumza mawili matatu kuhusiana na topic ya leo, na pia kiini ambacho tuko nacho usiku wa leo. Leo ikiwa ni Dominika ya 33 wakati wa kawaida mwaka A, Cycle 1. Tunazidi kumshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu kwa shujaa wake wa imani ambaye ni Father Patrick, Mheshimiwa Patrick Peyton, ambaye tunazidi kumwombea awe mwenye heri, na tunaamini ya kwamba siku ya masiku yeye ni mtakatifu, atakuwa mtakatifu wa familia. Kwa hivyo Father Patrick Peyton tunazidi kumwombea ili awe mwenye heri, tunaposali kwa pamoja sala ambayo iko kwenye screen yako, na pia ambao wanatusikiza tunaweza sali pia pamoja. Kwa jina la Baba, la Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Sala kwa ajili ya kumtangaza Padri Patrick Peyton CSC kuwa mwenye heri. Bwana wetu Yesu Kristo, Padri Patrick Peyton CSC aliyatoa maisha yake ya ukuhani kuimarisha familia duniani kwa kualika wasali pamoja kila siku, hasa Rozari. Ujumbe wake huo ni muhimu kwetu leo kama ulivyokuwa wakati wa maisha yake duniani. Kwa hiyo tunakuomba mkubali afikie daraja la kuwa mwenye heri, ili Wakristo waamini duniani kote wazidi kukumbuka ujumbe wake kwamba familia inayosali pamoja huishi pamoja. Waige mfano wake wa kujitolea kwa mama yako na mama yetu Bikira Maria. Hatimaye wakukaribie katika maisha yao yote kwa ujasiri na upendo. Tunaomba hayo yote kwa njia ya Kristu Bwana wetu, amina. Atukuzwe Baba na Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu, kama mwanzo na sasa na siku zote na milele, amina. Kwa jina la Baba, la Mwana na Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Ndugu msikilizaji, na kukumbusha kwamba kipindi hiki kinaletwa kwako kwa hisani ya Holy Cross Family Ministries Kenya, ambao wanahifadhiwa na shirika la Msalaba Mtakatifu, na huduma zetu ziko Kenya mzima. Tunawaandalia seminars, retreats, rosary distribution, online evangelization, marriage formation, spiritual formations, na pia home visitations. Kwenye seminar ama retreats, ndugu msikilizaji, tunaandaa kama family outreaches. Unaweza tualika kwenye parokia yako, na topics kama hizi ndizo ambazo tunaweza waandalia: domestic violence, alcoholism in the church or in the family, parenting, family prayer and family rosary prayer, and then also topics kuhusiana na mti wa ukoo ama family tree, seminar kuhusiana na conflict management, communication in the family, and also even in your working environment. Single mothers, we facilitate even the single mothers, firstborns, and also to understand more about the well-being of a firstborn, widows and widowers. Pia wao tunawaandalia seminars na workshops kama hizi ama outreaches ambazo zinawaleta pamoja. Pia vijana tunawaandalia the same depending and identifying the needs ambazo ziko hapo za vijana. Kwa hivyo ndugu msikilizaji, kama ungependa huduma zetu ziweze kufika kwenye parokia yenu, nambari yetu ya simu ni 0713434546. Tunahimiza na kusaidia familia kuweza kusali pamoja, haswa sala ya Rozari ambaye inatuunganisha kama familia. Ndugu msikilizaji, usiku wa leo tunazungumza kuhusu navigating grief with emotional intelligence. Navigating grief with emotional intelligence, ama kwa Kiswahili ni kuabiri majonzi kwa kutumia akili hisia, ama ukiwa na hisia ambazo unaweza you can be in a position to navigate them. Na kwa hivyo usiku wa leo malengo ambayo tungeweza kupenda kuatimiza ni kukuelimisha ndugu msikilizaji juu ya akili hisia ama emotional intelligence na umuhimu wake katika muktadha wa majonzi, haswa tukiangalia kama grief, and then kuchunguza mikakati ya vitendo ya kukuza akili hisia ili kukabiliana na majonzi ya kibinafsi na ya familia. Tunapokuwa kwenye familia, tumeweza kuexperience grief, jinsi gani tutaweza kukuja pamoja na tuweze kushika janga kama hilo na tuweze kusimama kama familia. Na pia la mwisho ni kutoa mwongozo kwa familia zinazotafuta jinsi ya kukuza akili zao ama akili zao za kihisia wakati wa majonzi. Tunaamini ya kwamba wakati wa majonzi ama wakati wa grief, ndugu msikilizaji, hofu mingi tunapitia na tunapitia machungu mengi. Na ndio maana usiku wa leo tuko naye mgeni, si mgeni sana, ashaikuwa nasi hapa na atajitambulisha, manake najua wengi ambao wanatusikiza ama wanatutazama hawakuwa nasi ama walikuwa nasi, lakini kwa kukukumbusha ndugu msikilizaji na mtazamaji, wacha aweze kujisema yeye ni nani, anajihusisha na nini, anatoka wapi, na mawili matatu ambayo angependa kuongeza kwenye introduction yake. Karibu sana sister, na ningependa ukitazama kwenye kamera ama ukisikia ukizungumza kwenye microphone zetu uweze kujitambulisha wewe ni nani. Karibu.
Asante sana. Sister Maureen Akola Virungi, DST, daughter of St. Teresa of the Child Jesus, Holy Cross Parish, Dandora, social work.
Okay. You're welcome, sister. Is once again that we invite you to help the families out there to pray, especially through the radio program. And kama ndugu msikilizaji uko na swali lolote kwa sister, nambari yetu ya simu jinsi nilivyosema iko hapo chini, unaweza itazama 0713439596, na pia unaweza ingia kwenye YouTube, kwenye Facebook, andika comment ama swali ambaye ungependa kuwa naye. Na washukuru wote waliojiunga nasi tulipokuwa na Mr. Frederick Otieno wiki ambayo imeweza kupita, na leo tunaendelea na mazungumzo yetu. Getting back to you sister, this is a month that we are reflecting, and in the Catholic doctrines and Catholic religion, we are praying for the souls in purgatory. And our theme this month is pray and offer sacrifices for the deceased. But also we would like, because when we are speaking about deceased, also we are speaking about somewhere, we are touching grief somewhere, and also we are touching the emotions of humanity. So in maybe in your own explanation, maybe focusing on the theme so that we can go to the topic. What is your input on that? Welcome.
My input is, it is well and good that this month is for us to pray for the dead according to the Mother Church, and we know that it is all important to pray for the dead, our deceased members. As they were alive with us, we loved them. We did a lot with them. They were our parents, they were relatives, our brothers and sisters. So the way we lived good life with them, the way we enjoyed them, it is the same point that we take to pray for them. Reason being, those our deceased members, we believe that there is another place that they have to be in. We know we have 3 churches. We, the Pilgrim Church, the Triumphant Church, and that church of those people are still, which the church that we call Purgatory.
Yeah.
So, in the context, we know that the way they term Purgatory, we know it as a heavenly hospital. Purgatory is that place that is set apart for those people who, in God's grace and favor, they have a chance to go to heaven, but before that, they died with some dates to be fulfilled. So where they can give or pay their dates from is in that heavenly hospital, which is termed as Purgatory, to be cleansed of their sins and to be purified. So for a person to be purified and to enter into the heavenly kingdom needs to be cleansed through that hospital, so that they can be well and be pure to reach God. And for that, those people in Purgatory, they need our prayers. They are relatives. As how we lived with them, we loved them, we should continue praying for them so that they may enjoy our prayers. You know, as they are in Purgatory, they can't make it to pray for themselves. What they did when they were still here on earth, when we are here on earth, we have a chance of praying, we have a chance of going for confessions, we plead to God for what we have done, for this and this. But the moment you die, you don't have that chance to pray for yourself. Only that what you have to do, you have to be there, you serve your own punishment. So, our prayers help them the more to see that God has got mercy on them and forgives them their sins in order to enter into heaven. And it is not the first time the people may ask themselves, why should we pray for the dead? Why do the Catholic Church pray for the dead? Why do they pray for the dead, yet we know that the dead, they have passed away from us? It is not that it is just created upon now. If we go to the whole Bible, when we read 2 Maccabees chapter 12 verses 39 to 40, we see that those people, they prayed for their dead after the death of their friends, when they are in the war. When you read those chapters, you will understand what I'm telling you, if you can. They prayed for the dead after they were in the war, after the death of their people. When they were going for burial, they found that there was someone who had some idolatry in his bags and whatever they were using to fight. So, remembering that person was not pure because of keeping all those that were not good, those people, they had to offer some sacrifices for their person, praying for mercy to God in order to forgive that person to enter into heaven. When you read 2 Maccabees, you will understand very well. So, through that, we are not fearful, or we can't fear to pray for our deceased members, because we know they need our mercy and our prayers. They need to be purified, and our prayers, they are the ones that can help them, because they can't help themselves. So, we need to offer sacrifices for them. we need to pray for them in order to do what? To be relieved from their sins or from the debts that they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sister, for giving us an introduction on that. Our dear listeners, if you're very keen with our radio programs this month, there is a part that we are discussing concerning the souls in the purgatory and concerning the deceased. Because at the end of the day, we need to pray for these people, depending and to offer sacrifices for them. And I hope our dear listeners, depending with the different facilitators who have been here, najua tumeweza kuwaombea na tunazidi kuwaombea. Nikirudi kwako sister, as we are speaking about navigating grief with emotional intelligence, what is emotional intelligence?
Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive, use, understand, manage, and handle emotions. Or it is also the ability to manage both your own emotions and the emotions of the others around you. So when, to explain a bit, when you are emotionally intelligent, you can be able to control yourself, and you can be able to know the people, to know yourself and to know the people you are living with. Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, most of the times our dear listeners, tunapozungumza kuhusu emotional intelligence is basically the awareness, as sister has shared. And when we are in grief, because there are so many stages in grief that contribute to the process of healing, then this is why it's very necessary to have such an intelligence to understand, if I lose this person, how am I supposed to navigate? How am I supposed to control myself? Back to you, sister. How does one's emotional intelligence play a role in coping with the loss of a loved one, and even any loss in life?
Emotional intelligence helps, let's say I've lost someone, it helps me to know how to control my grief. It helps me how to cope up with the stress, and it helps me to be able to express myself as the way I'm feeling in order to be helped. And that emotional intelligence helps me or helps you to be confident with what you are passing through, so that you have to know that it is not permanent. When you are emotionally intelligent, or you are aware of what is going on in your life, what is happening around you, and what has happened there and then, you can be able to control.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And how do you think, how can family members support each other in developing emotional intelligence while navigating the grieving process together? Since at times when a person dies in the family, yani inakuanga so much, it is like one is not able. You may find the whole family, all of them in grieving, and no one is there to control. But how can they unite despite that current situation one experience as a family?
You know, we are totally different. It is not that we are all the same. We might be all grieving, but the way we take that grief, it differs. So, however much we are all grieving, we may have some strong people. You know, we go to different places, we learn a lot from different studies and so forth. So, you may find that there is that person who is strong in that family that is grieving, who can support the others. So, as how we can help our fellows, if you are there and you see that you can be able to support your fellow to have that emotional intelligence, it needs you to acquire the skill of listening. You listen to those people, Don't judge them as they are grieving. You are all grieving, but you take the grace of listening. You listen to them. You accept what happened, what they are passing through. You be with them in their grieving, and you integrate what they are passing through. You listen, give a listening ear, acknowledge their pain, feel with them how they are feeling, and accept that everything will end. Yes.
So, and maybe just to ask, when we are speaking about grief, it's kind of a process. Is it the same as mourning?
Yeah, grief can be the same as mourning, but grief is a natural response to loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, a natural response, that is when someone dies, that is, people are mourning.
Yes.
But now after that, now the process is what is grief, called grief.
Yeah. The grieving is the response to loss. You may lose someone, you may lose your property, you may be walking, you lose your phone, you start grieving, you may lose anything, but mostly losing a beloved one. Yeah. So once you leave, you lose your beloved one, you go in that state of mourning, remembering the good times you have been with that person, thinking about this and that. Yeah, it is a response to the loss. But then what we need to know is when you are in that loss or you are grieving, we have heard that it is a natural response. It is natural to be in grief, in a grievous moment. So once it comes, accept it as it is. When you feel like shedding tears, shed your tears. It is a process of healing. Yeah. When you feel like screaming and talking this and this about what happened, about the death of your beloved one, about the loss, it is understandable because it is a natural response. Through that you are getting healed and you can be helped.
Okay.
You know, once you are grieving and you keep quiet, that wound can't be healed. Yeah, it is like the way you could be having a wound somewhere. They call them private parts there. So when you hide it, you know that I have a wound here, so you cover it. You are not able to nurse it yourself. You are not revealing it to the people to help you. So with that, you die with it, and you are the one suffering.
Okay.
So what you need is revealing that grief. Know that it is a natural thing that happens. Everyone can fall in it. It is not for you alone. Share, respond to what it is forcing you to as you get healed.
Okay, thank you so much sister, na asante sana ndugu msikilizaji na mtazamaji ambao mnatutazama na mnatusikiza. Usiku wa leo tunaongea kuhusu majonzi, yani kuweza kujua how can we, what direction can we take whenever we are experiencing. Remember our dear listeners, tunapozungumza kuhusu mambo haya yanatendeka kwenye familia, na yanapotendeka kwenye familia vitu mingi zinatendeka. Kuna wenye ambao watashikwa na depression, kuna wengine watapitia magumu, kuna wengine watatamani afadhali wangekufa ili waende na wapendwa wao. Kwa hivyo ndugu msikilizaji na mtazamaji, tunapozungumza, kama unapitia masuala kama haya katika maisha yako, umempoteza mmoja wako, mpendwa wako, ama umepoteza kitu, ndugu msikilizaji, tuweze kuenda kutembea pamoja kwenye radio program hii ya usiku wa leo, ili tuweze kuona jinsi gani tutasaidika na tuwe bado wakamilifu tukiwa kwenye familia zetu. Tunaporudi kwenye awamu ya pili, basi tutaendelea na mazungumzo yetu.
Unasikiliza Maisha ya Familia Yetu, kipindi kinacholetwa kwako na Holy Cross Family Ministries Kenya.
Karibu ndugu msikilizaji, karibu kwenye awamu yetu ya pili, tukiwa naye Sister Maureen DST ambaye anatusaidia kwenye masuala ya majonzi, haswa mwezi kama huu ambao tunawapoteza, tunaombea ambao tuliwapenda, wapendwa wetu. Na ndugu msikilizaji, nikasema kama uko na swali tunapozungumza, maybe umedeal na grief kwa miaka mingi lakini bado unarudi kwenye kwenye mambo yale ambayo yanakuumiza kwenye moyo. Na sister ameweza kuelezea vizuri sana kwenye awamu ya kwanza, ni kama ukiwa na kidonda mahali kwenye sehemu zako za siri. Nani ataweza kujua? Nani ataweza kujua isipokuwa uweze kusema utakufa na kidonda kile. Kwa hivyo ndugu msikilizaji, tunaweza kuangalia kwenye familia zetu mambo hayo yanatukumba, na ndio maana usiku wa leo Sister Maureen anatusaidia kuweza kufahamu kwa undani zaidi kuhusiana na hili swala ya navigating grief with emotional intelligence, na kwa kweli tuweze kuwa na hekima ama maarifa ya kuweza kufahamu hisia zetu. Karibu tena sister kwenye awamu ya pili. Tunapoendelea tunazungumza pia tunazungumza kuhusu masuala haya ya majonzi, haswa kwa wenye ambao ni wapendwa wetu tu wameweza kutuacha. Nikirudi kwako, what are some of the strategies for helping children, teenagers develop emotional intelligence when dealing with grief, and not only even children and teenagers, even parents, they are suffering from this because I remember one of the parent who lost her son. It was very tough for her, even up to date. She's still coping with it, and it's good to understand because many people are aware they are passing through something. But the strategy of coming out of that, I think it's where it becomes difficult for these people. So you can share with us.
Yeah. We know that losing someone is not easy. And it is a serious wound that needs to be held. What needs us to be really true to ourselves, and to understand what we are going through. But some strategies to the teenagers and to everyone is we need to practice observing how we feel. You observe how you are feeling, however much you are in that grief. You observe yourself. You know that I'm feeling this and this. You know that I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling... You know how you can be feeling. It is you. It is me to know that I'm feeling this and this. So, after observing that, if it is that grief, you know that you have felt sad, or you have felt like crying, that what we normally say. You remember that I'm grieving my son or I'm grieving my mother. So after observing that feeling, you see what you can follow on that. If it needs to go for prayers, you go for prayer. If it needs to pray for your deceased person, you pray for that person. Once you request for the grace of God to purify your deceased person, and to give you the energy to persevere in that, you receive it. And we remember that it is our obligation as Christians, as any person, to pray for your deceased person. So once you realize and observe that feeling, it is reminding you to offer a prayer to that person, or to go to the feet of Jesus to ask for the grace, or to share what you are feeling to the person. Yeah. And another strategy is to pay attention to our behaviors. You know, paying attention to your behavior is you are after listening and observing how you are feeling, there is a way you behave. Let's say I felt sad, or I felt that I have a lot of anger because of that person. So with that, there is a way I will behave. So that is what I need to pay attention to. You know, there is a way we behave when you are angry. Some will bang the doors. Some will just keep quiet. Some will just rebuke anyone who comes close to that. So those are the behaviors we have to pay attention to. When you have paid attention to your behavior, that you know that it has that you are experiencing, you will do what? You will control it. It will not lead you to the deeper or to more destructive, and you will have to handle it in a good way. And another strategy is we question our own opinions. Let's imagine you have thought of your deceased person. You have decided many decisions, they come to your mind, or many decisions, they come to my mind. You may think, let me run to the graveyard. I cry or I scream. You may think, let me go to the person. Let's say some people we think they have they are thinking that so and so is the one who let my person die. So and so caused the accident to my person. So as those come to you, they are the questions or they are the thinkings that they come to you. You have to question your own self. You ask, what if I go and attack this person? What will happen? What if I go to the graveyard to cry there? Is it near? How shall I travel there? So as you discuss, as you question yourself, you will get relieved. You will know, by going there, this and this may result, or I may waste the transport I was to use. Imagine you are living here to Langata. How much shall you use? And how sure are you that you will reach to the same place where you buried your beloved? So as you question yourself like that, you question your own opinions, you get the solution, and I think the solution will be positives, and because you will see, you analyze that what you are thinking and planning, you are unable to achieve it. Another thing is to be responsible for our feelings. As I had said, explained before, we be responsible of our feelings in order that they may not lead us to negativities only. We know once you keep thinking in a negative way more than positive ways, you lose a lot. The way you fix your mind, the way you train your mind to think, it will determine who you are, and it will make you who you are, and people will know who you are because of what you think. Or if you are ever in negatives, or if you keep thinking in a negative way, they will know who you are because of what you think. So we observe our feelings, we be responsible of them, we think positively, and we help our mind. Also, we need to talk openly to our feelings, or openly to our grief. When you are grieving and you don't talk about it, let's say you lost your beloved one, and you are suppressing that grief. You are suppressing on the appearance. When people come to give you comfort, there is a reason as to why they advise us to visit the people who have lost their dear ones, so that they can share with us. They can narrate how the person started the sickness and how they feel now. So when I come to visit you with my intention of giving you comfort and consolation, but what you do just show me I'm okay. It is just the laughters, they are for lip service. Yeah, you will remain with your grief. You have suppressed it, but deep within you, you are feeling a lot of pain. So we need to talk openly about our emotions, and we be ourselves. And even when you feel grieving, you can play some videos. You watch some good movies that can help you be relieved of the stress. And so on, you play music, do some creativities, handcraft, this and that, so that you can cope up with your emotions and you build up the emotional intelligence. Yeah.
Okay, maybe concerning that, sister, in the same question, at least you have shared most of the strategies. There are these people, normally, maybe they have lost their loved ones, and then the person keeps like the shirt, the clothes, the toy. Maybe it was a child, so the person keeps the toys as a remembrance for that person. Do you think that affects the development of emotional intelligence to overcome the process of grief?
I think that one, it depends on the person and the intention of keeping that shirt or that toy. When we go to the church view, we are allowed to keep the remains of our people. Let's say clothing, some of the clothing, some of the things that the person used. Because you never know, that person will be a saint. I may be with you, so we are here some. You are putting on your shirt, you are using it to serve God, you are planning this and this. After your death, like after 10 years, when your date is done, as how we said up there, you are a saint, and they need, after you being canonized, so you hear they are remains of the saints.
Yeah.
It is not only about the body particle or the bone or what, even the clothing and whatever they are, what the person used. They use that as it when you are as the sacramentals. Even when you go to some altars, they are remains of the saints according to the patron saint of that parish. So when you keep, as how I say it, back to the question, it depends on the person. Why have I kept this? Have I kept it that it keeps reminding me of this person? Or how, when I see it, how do I feel? So it is me to know the reason as to why I kept this. If I kept it for the good of my life, or as I see it, I pray for my person. You may keep my phone, that when you see that phone, you remember the good acts I did, or you remember how we used it to joke. As you remember that, you pray for me. If it was something bad, when you remember it, you pray for me, offer prayer for me. That one will help me to be relieved and to be purified. Once you remember that you have kept your clothes, you will not burn everything, you will not drop everything. You may keep some essential things. But be mindful of how you feel. When you see that person, that thing of that person, and you remember him, how have you responded to that, to the response? The response of you seeing that person, either you have seen the pic, either you have seen the beautiful clothes that she put on. It is you to know how we have said to to be mindful of your thinking. If you sit and you feel a lot of sadness, a lot of grief, do as you had said. Go for counseling, run to prayers, dedicate your person, go for counseling, offer some sacrifices to that person. We trust in mass, sacrifices of mass. Offer some sacrifices to that person as you clear your mind. And with time, you will find that once you see this person, you'll just see, remember the person, pray for him, thank God for the good things that he or she did when he was still alive, and life will continue.
Okay.
So, when you feel that grief after seeing it, don't worry about it. Cry if possible, if you can. Share what you can share. Then with time, it will get healed.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much. At least najua kuna wengi sana ambao wameweza kujibiwa hiyo swali. Manake kuna wengi wanauliza nimekuwa nikipitia nikiona vifaa vya ndugu yangu, babangu, mamangu, na jinsi sijaweza the response yenye niko nayo maybe na lia ama najipata na huzuni. Naamini ya kwamba umeweza kujibiwa. Kwa hivyo ni kwa sababu ya muda sister, ningependa tu uweze kutuambia what role does open communication play in enhancing emotional intelligence within a grieving family?
Open communication, it helps the grieving family. It is for both the parties. The person communicating to them, you have to be open to yourself and to them, and also the grieving family, they need to be open to the people who are communicating to them. This one will help both of you, most especially when you are free with them. You are, let's say you are free with me, you can share everything, you can share what is deep down within you. This one will help you to express whatever you are going through. If it is that pain that you have, if it is all that is deep within you, you will be able to express them. And as you express, as we said, once you share, they say that the problem shared is halfway solved. Yeah. Once you share what you are feeling, you may give what I'm thinking about it. I may give you some consolation that you can take and move on.
Wow.
So that one helps you to do what to express what you feel. So speaking openly helps both of you to know how you are standing and you to accept. When you are open to me and I'm talking to you openly, you will accept what I'm telling you, and I will also deliver what I'm supposed to deliver to you. I don't know if we are together there.
We are very much together, sister, and I believe even our dear listeners and those who are viewing us, they are watching us, I believe we are very much together. Naona muda umeweza kuisha sister, lakini maswali ambayo yenye niko nayo, wacha nipe ruhusa niweze kuendelea nawe kipindi ambacho kitaweza kufuata cha Jumapili ya Kristo Mfalme, tukisherehekea Kristo Mfalme, ili tuzidi kuzungumza kuhusu maswala haya. Haya ni Thank you so much. Haya ni maswala ambayo yanakumba familia zetu, ndugu msikilizaji na mtazamaji, na tumeona ni muhimu sana. Saa zingine tunatafuta nini ambacho kinakula familia, na ambapo kuna kidonda. Kumbuka mmoja akiwa na kidonda kwenye familia, hiyo kidonda pia kina wadhuru wengine, kina mdhuru mtu mwingine. Kwa hivyo ndugu msikilizaji, ni vizuri tuweze kufahamu ya kwamba jinsi gani tutaweza kutumia akili kutumia akili hisia, ama tuweze kupata hisia njema kwenye mawazo yetu, ama ability ya kuweza kumanage mambo kama haya. Na si grief tu peke yake, ni mambo mengi kwenye familia yanahitaji emotional intelligence, kwa sababu mengi tunayapitia kwenye maisha yetu. Kwa hivyo ndugu msikilizaji, tunapomalizia usiku wa leo, kipindi chetu cha usiku wa leo, ningependa kumshukuru sister sana, sister Maureen. Tutakuwa na yeye usiku wa Jumapili ambayo inaweza kufuata, ili atumalizie mazungumzo, manake naona kuna mambo mengi ambayo ameweza kuyaacha, na naona ameweza kutuandalia. Kwa hivyo ndugu msikilizaji, utaungana nasi kwenye kipindi kijacho, na pia usisahau kulike, kufollow na kucomment kwenye Facebook page yetu, na pia kwenye YouTube page yetu utaweza kusubscribe. Kwa hivyo comment, tutaweza kupata hizo comment. Kama ungependa kutembelea ofisi zetu, basi ofisi zetu ziko upande wa Dandora Phase 4 opposite Ushirika Secondary School, na utaweza kupata huduma kama misa za kila wiki ambazo ziko kwenye on Tuesday, Wednesday and Friday 9:30 AM, na pia at 3 PM on Friday utaweza kupata Divine Mercy for the Families. Pia kama ungependa vifaa vya maombi, kusali na kupromote Holy Cross Family Ministries Kenya, nambari yetu ya paybill number ni 4029583, na pia hapo kwenye account eka donation. Asanteni, Mungu aweze kuwabariki na muwe na usiku mwema. Jina langu ni Samuel Washira. Tumekuwa nawe usiku wa leo, tukutane nawe usiku kama huu wa leo, wakati kama huu kwenye Radio Waumini 88.3. Bye bye.
Umekuwa ukisikiliza ujumbe wa maisha ya familia yetu, ukiletwa kwako na Holy Cross Family Ministries Kenya. Holy Cross Family Ministries Kenya wanahimiza Wakristo duniani kote kusali pamoja na kuishi pamoja katika familia zao kupitia nguzo 3, yaani imani, sala na ndoa takatifu. Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nao kwa nambari 0713439596.